Welcome back to the channel. In this video, we're going to talk all about how much to pay your VA specifically from the Philippines. So for some context, at Trusty Hire, we are a headhunter recruiting agency where we specialize in hiring the top 1% of overseas talent, and clients usually come to us having a very specific requirement on what kind of candidate they want to hire, and we go out and do all the screening, the recruiting, everything, and then bring back the very best candidates for them. So with that being said, let's get right into the video. So first, let's talk about the differences in cost between hiring a US VA versus a Philippines VA, and you might actually be pretty surprised at how much you can actually save. So let's talk about the US first. So typically in the US, it costs around $4,500 to $6,500 every month to hire a VA that's based in the US. But if you hire a VA from the Philippines, that brings it down to around $600 to $800, and you get pretty much a similar quality. So that's around 80% in savings, which is a lot. So now let's break down on what influences these costs. So this includes the type of role you're hiring for, the location, whether it's full-time or part-time, and also the years of experience. So let's talk about the role first. If you're hiring someone that's a little bit more entry level or has very little experience, you can expect to pay a little bit less at around $5 to $8 an hour. But if you're looking for someone a little bit more specialized in their skills, you're going to be paying a little bit more. So let's do a whole breakdown of the types of categories and monthly salaries you should be paying for each type of role. So for an admin assistant, you can pay around $600 to $800 every month. And by the way, these are all Philippine salaries. For marketing specialists, around $800 to $1,200 a month. For customer support, around $600 to $800 a month. For sales, around $800 to $1,900 a month. And this can be a larger range because of commissions. So if they do really well, then your commissions will be higher. Real estate, around $800 to $1,200 a month. And if you want to know exactly how much to pay for each role, I have a very detailed salary breakdown linked down below, so you can check that out. So years of experience also really matters when it comes to knowing how much to pay your VA. So VAs that have a little bit of experience or almost no experience, you can expect to pay a little bit less, but you would have to invest more time into training them. But if you want someone with more experience, you're able to train them a little bit less, but you have to pay them a little bit higher. So full-time and part-time also matters a lot. Speaking from personal experience, full-time is a lot more worth it than hiring someone part-time, even though it's a lot more. And that's because they can dedicate a lot more hours and a lot more time in their day into your company, and they're only thinking about your company, not someone else's. So versus a part-time person, they have other commitments. Location also matters. So let's say there's someone from Latin America versus Philippines. So on average, Latin America is slightly higher than the Philippines just because their cost of living is slightly higher. But if you're comparing someone from the Philippines versus someone from Indonesia, Indonesia can be slightly cheaper than the Philippines. But you also have the trade-off of their English skills are not as good as the Philippines, and also they have more entry-level workers. So you're probably thinking, how should I structure the payment for my VA? So there's pretty much three ways you can do this: either salaried, hourly, or per project. I highly recommend salaried if you're looking for someone that's full-time and you're planning on hiring them for the long term and they're planning to grow with your company. And that's because payroll is going to be a lot easier, because every 2 weeks you're going to be paying them the same amount. You don't have to manually calculate their hours, which can be such a time sucker. And that's a wrap on how much you should pay your VA in the Philippines. If you're looking to hire your own VA, feel free to leave us a message using our contact form below. Tell us a little bit more about the role and we can be in touch. But that's it for this video, and I'll see you in the next one.